Busy picking out his floral shirt. Which one are you gonna go for? Yeah, that's a match. That's you. This is the winner shirt. Fab.
Is it a yes from you?
It's a yes for me. We were complaining about the heat and it not being warm enough, and now we're so hot. We're just sitting in this market. It's so hot. We found this cute cafe in Bangkok. Bottomless tea, pancakes, Western breakfast. Good? These are my pancakes. My radio. We devoured our food. We just arrived at the Grand Palace and I'm going to do a bit of a tour around. Inside this building is the Emerald Buddha, the most sacred Buddha in Thailand. We then went on to see the reclining Buddha, which is in these frames. Please excuse the video of the reclining Buddha. It was not my best video taking. We're just having lunch in Bangkok along the river. So I actually haven't done a video in like 3 days. So good bit to update, but I'm actually going to include just a few bits from Bangkok, and mainly this vlog will be about Chiang Rai, where we're flying to on Monday. We are coming back to Bangkok at the end, so we've only done like a few bits and pieces and just kind of chilled out otherwise. Just flying now from Bangkok to Chiang Rai. Kind of just left my videos randomly yesterday because we were in a rush to get out of where we were because a taxi was on the way. So once I land in Chiang Rai, I'll update everything we did in Bangkok. That was included earlier in the videos, so stay tuned. From Bangkok and what we did. So we flew from Saratani, as I said, to Bangkok, and it was kind of a last minute decision, and we were like, look, we'll just go there, get our bearings. We stayed in a nice hotel with a rooftop pool, which was lovely, and the weather was just a bit hotter, so we didn't do much. We did markets one day, we went to the Grand Palace and the reclining Buddha the second day. And then we just kind of ate in really nice places. Like we had really nice pancakes, sushi, we went to a Korean barbecue, and we just kind of had drinks and chilled. There is a lot more that we want to do. So that's why we're going back for another 3 days. Like we want to go down the river, we want to take a tuk-tuk, we want to go on Koh San Road. So what we actually did was our backpacks were way too heavy, so we emptied a lot of stuff and we bought a new suitcase and we've stored it in Bangkok, and we're going to collect it then when we go back. So that was today. Today was a travel day. We had to go and find the storage facility that we went to, which we had a bit of disaster with. The first one we paid €70, for a month, and we went there and the hostel was actually closed. It wasn't open anymore, and the website was like an agency and they obviously didn't know. So we got there, it was 1, we had to leave for a flight at 2, and we're like, oh god, like we have this suitcase. So we had to like go on Google, find a different one, and we did find a different one in probably a better location. It was in a mall, it was like a luggage service, and it was actually cheaper, so it was €50, so we saved €20. So we're just in the process of trying to get a refund for that other one, and we complained because I was like, if we didn't have enough time, we would have been screwed. So that was our day. It was a bit hectic from there, and we had to go get a flight. The flight was fine, it was an hour, really cheap to fly here. So from Suratani to Bangkok it cost us €30 each with luggage, and the same from Bangkok to Chiang Rai. We could have done an overnight train, but it would have been 12 hours from Bangkok to Chiang Rai. So we said we'll just fly the furthest north we can, and we're going to do a kind of northern itinerary now. We're going to do Chiang Rai, Chiang Mai and Pai, and then eventually work back to the islands we were going to go to, in the hopes that by the time we get there later in December the weather will be nicer. So yeah, that's the plan, and this vlog will have more of Chiang Rai and all the bits we're going to do here, and then it's going to be kind of completely different scenery than the last ones. It's going to be more like tea plantations and more temples. Okay, there's temples everywhere, but stuff like that, so hopefully it's interesting. Okay, so this is where we're staying in Chiang Rai. As you can see, it's so cat themed, like just cats everywhere, and it's really like Japanese style. Like this is like on a, it's elevated and like chairs like this, but it's kind of cute. It's the best we could kind of find around here for a reasonable price. I think it was €60 for 3 nights, and this is the vibe we're going with, so thumbs up for me as well. We are just going into the White Temple, and this is our outfit check. And I'm wearing classing.
Oh, you actually look well. What are you on about?
Styling. From afar, but we're going to do so. It's actually not a temple. An artist did it. To have more details, but it's actually not a temple. But so. This part is probably the most unusual part of the temple. It is outreaching hands, reaching for desire. This part is to symbolise you walk over the bridge to happiness after foregoing desire, greed and temptation. We're just at Choui Fung tea plantations, and we were like, we'll try local tea, so we got a green tea frappe, Thai tea frappe, and I think you can guess by the size that's left that we didn't really like them. But it's so popular here, so we're like, we'll try it. But yeah, can't beat Barry's tea in my opinion. We had cake, we had coconut cake and a green tea Swiss roll, which was really nice. So it's really nice up here. There's no tours, but you can see all the tea plantations, which is really popular up the north. And I'll just play some videos. So we just arrived in Chiang Mai after 3 days in Chiang Rai. Really enjoyed Chiang Rai. The main things we did were the White Temple, the Blue Temple. We went to a waterfall called Ban Ku Ban or something like that. I'll put it in the description. We also went to tea plantations and up to the border of Thailand, like right up north where you can see Burma and Laos from the one viewpoint. So we rented a scooter for 2 days, and I would recommend getting some form of transport while you're up there. It's just kind of a small centre and there's loads to do around it, but there is loads of taxi options that you can get as well. Someone will you can rent a private taxi for the day and they'll bring you to all the spots you want as well. It's just more expensive than renting a scooter, but there is other options. My favourite thing there was definitely the White Temple. It's probably the coolest temple we've seen so far, and we've seen a lot of temples. It's just so unique, and it's, as I said earlier, it's actually not a place of worship yet, but I'd say in a few years it will be. They still have a good bit of construction to do in it and a good few temples, and it's all self-funded by the artist. No government funding or anything, and we didn't have to pay any entry or anything. And there's a lovely art museum as well attached to it for free. I'm not a big art connoisseur, but I enjoyed it. It's very straightforward art and it's written on it what it means, and it's art you can fully appreciate. We actually ended up buying 2 prints as well, which were signed by the artist, so we are already decorating an apartment in Dubai that we don't even have yet. But that was my favorite thing. There is loads to do there, and I would definitely recommend going there. So as I said earlier, we're in Chiang Mai now, and we're continuing on our road trip. Chiang Mai and Pai are in the next 5 to 6 days, so that's what's coming next.